Hello everyone and welcome. This is Christine with Patter Crafts, and today I'm here sharing the card I created for the Under the Sea hop. This hop is being hosted by Teresa Russell and the Handmade Happiness Facebook group. So I'll leave a link to that group in the description below. But first, let's talk about these products that I'm using. I am starting off with some watercolors. This is the Royal and Langnickel watercolor set. I recently received these in a Scrapping for Less card kit, and honestly, they look just like a Crayola set of markers or watercolors. But let me tell you, they are so creamy. Definitely not Crayola. I had so much fun with these. I am definitely going to be bringing these out a lot more. It was just so nice. Anyway, moving on. The stamp set I'll be using today is called Friends with Fins. So the hop today is a hashtag themed hop. So if you are watching this today on Thursday, July 30th, then you're going to want to look for the hashtag Thursday Under the Sea. YouTube creators will have a video up using that hashtag. Some people may only choose to do an Instagram hop. So if you want to see what's going on Instagram and just get get some pictures of some under the sea inspiration, you can definitely go over to Instagram and you can search the hashtag Thursday Under the Sea. There's also one for Friday and Saturday, and you're just using the day of the week. So it's Thursday Under the Sea, Friday Under the Sea, and Saturday Under the Sea. There are some people that are doing blogs, but I don't know enough about blogs to know how you would search for those. But I'm sure if you find one, they'll have some information on that. So anyway, let's get back to this card. So I have some watercolor paper here, and I'm just using the blue watercolor. And honestly, when I started this, I had no idea what I was doing. I'm like, I'm just gonna start adding some strips of water. I kind of was thinking what I wanted this to look like, but I didn't want it to be like ink smishing. I wanted to have some deliberate lines. So I'm laying down the lines. I also want them to be kind of light. So if I've noticed the colors a little darker than I wanted, I went ahead and dragged my brush back over it. I kind of wipe it off on the paper there, as you can see, and pick some of that color back up. I also want some of those harsher lines to show. So picking up some of that excess color in the middle of those brush lines helps with that. So now I'm just kind of filling in some areas that I thought were some holes. I did a little bit of inks splatters with the paint. And then I'm going to bring in just a little bit of black because I just thought we needed something a little bit different for the ink splatters. And I just thought bringing in the black would just kind of stand out a little bit. So we'll go ahead and clean up our blue mess, and let's go ahead and dig into the black watercolor. So right now I'm just cleaning my brush to make sure I get most of that blue off, and let's go ahead and get in there. And again, these are super creamy, so I definitely wasn't going straight to flicking dots on it. I wanted to make sure I got it a little watered down. Once that is all set, we're going to go ahead and clean up this mess, and then I'm going to bring my heat tool in, and I need to dry this. So we'll go ahead and just use the heat tool, get that all dried, ready to go. I'm getting the back there just because the paper is curling, so if I hit the back, it kind of like straightens that out a little bit. So once my background is dry, I'm going to just put that aside, and we're going to stamp this really cute whale image from the stamp set. I'm using this single image, and I'm using the stamp set, or the sentiment from the stamp set, "Thanks a ton." So we'll go ahead and we're going to stamp "Thanks a ton" on this watercolor panel here. At first it doesn't look straight to me when I stamp it out, but kind of looking at it from this view and when I actually stand the card up, it looks like it's straight, but sometimes it's hard to tell when you have those sentiments that have like different size letters on the same line like that. Okay, so let's just color in our little whale. I'm doing very simple coloring. I'm using the C markers. This is C7, then I'm going to bring in C5, C3, and C1. If anyone saw my video for Team Tiny where I colored in the snowman and I was saying, oh my C1 marker is dry. Well, I did end up going and just picking up another marker. I didn't try to look for a refill, but I definitely will. I just kind of needed it now. I didn't really have a lot of time to wait for it to be ordered, so I went ahead and just bought another one, and then when I get a refill, I guess I'll have two. Or I'll refill one and then maybe I'll just give the other one to somebody else. But anyway, I didn't realize how dry my other C markers were until I bring the C1 into this one. So you'll see me bring in that C1 and I kind of use it a lot there at the end because I'm really just trying to get rid of any lines, like any direct harsh lines. So again, I started with this C7 where my areas are going to be the darkest. I just kind of went over those with C5, and then the C3 I really start pulling out the color. Then I'm bringing in my C1 right here, and this is when, as I'm using it, I'm like, oh, so this is what it should feel like when you're coloring. It's just one of those things when some of your markers like really start to dry out, like you kind of don't know until you use one that's not so dry, and then you're like, oh, this is nice. So I'm just kind of going in, blending everything back out with this C1, and our little whale is just super, super adorable. But we still need to add some little finishing details. So I am bringing in this marker here. This is just it's E93, and I'm just adding a little bit of that to his cheek or her cheek. And then I thought it'd be really fun to add RV14 to those little dots on the back just for that little pop of color. I really love the way that came out. And then I'm just bringing my C5 back in and just kind of defining some of those darker areas just a little bit. I thought the C7 would be too dark. So I fussy cut our little whale. I used a black Copic marker to go around and just clean up the edges. So just it looks a little bit nicer, and it hides all the little imperfections from fussy cutting. So I found this really pretty blue glitter paper. This is some glitter paper from a Simon Says stamp card kit, the one with a mermaid, quite a while ago. So we're gonna go ahead and use that. So I'm double checking. You see, I double checked my cutting because I wanted to make sure I got this right because I don't have any more of this. And I really wanted to use this sparkle paper for this card. So we're gonna go ahead and adhere this to our card base. This card base is just a piece of 110-pound cardstock from Michaels. I forgot what brand it is that they carry, but it's just from Michaels. So once that's on there, we're going to add a ton of adhesive to this watercolor piece. I thought about popping it up on foam tape, but then I decided it would use too much foam tape. So I'm just going to see how it'll just stick onto this because it's not too warped. So I think it'll stay down just fine. And then we're going to go ahead and add our little whale. We'll pop her up on some foam tape, and then we're going to add some sparkly finishes because no card is complete without some sparkle. So I'm going to bring in my Spectrum Noir glitter brush, and we're going to add glitter all over this little whale. She is adorable. And then I'm going to be bringing in some Nuvo glitter drops. I'm using the White Blizzard, which is something I seem to be adding to every project lately because I love them. And then I'm also using these blue ones. They're called Blue Lagoon. Like, honestly, I don't have a lot, but I have enough Nuvo drops, and basically we should be using them. If we have them, use them. So thank you so very much for joining me today. If you'd like to see what other people created for their Under the Sea theme, don't forget to search that hashtag Thursday Under the Sea. You could also do Friday and Saturday, followed by Under the Sea. So thank you so very much for joining me. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more and you have not already, hit that subscribe button. I would appreciate it so very much. Hit the notification bell if you want to know when I upload next. And have a fantastic day and weekend. Bye, everyone.